This is a bonus outtake from my conversation with Carmine Appice. You can hear Carmine's full-length episode along with all of the Trap Set episodes for free if you subscribe to the Trap Set on iTunes or your favorite podcast app. Well, you and Buddy Rich became good friends later in life. How did that relationship get started?
Well, it's funny how it did, because I knew his daughter, and
Kathy.
Kathy, but she didn't introduce me to Buddy. It actually started when I was doing the drum offs. You know, the Guitar Center drum offs. I started them. If you knew that, did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I did 5 of them out here in L.A., and then I took a year off because I never got paid for them. My object was just to bring the drums to everybody's attention, like Gene Krupa did. That was always my goal. Bring drums out front, so the drummer's not just the background guy. Just like now they do all these reunions and the drummers are never involved in the reunions. I think is ridiculous, because where's the feel come from?
Right.
So anyway, we were doing the second annual Carmine Appice drum off at Griffith Park and ended up having 10,000 people there. And Sonny Emery won that one, and Bobby Rock was in that one. And where was I? I was in Tokyo, and my manager called me and said, "We're doing it in the park. It's going to be Carmine Appice Day. Mayor Bradley put aside proclamation for that day, and it's also going to have Buddy Rich as a judge." And I said, "You're crazy, man. What drugs are you on?" And at the time, I thought Buddy Rich hated rock drumming, because he was always putting rock drumming down. Anyway, he showed up, and he was a cool guy. The only problem we had there, at the end of each of those drum offs, we would say, everybody line up. We had like 10 drum sets, and we'd all take 4s. So that was the problem. Who's going to play after Buddy?
Right.
So I said to my brother Vinny, he had fast foot, fast hand. I'm not playing after Buddy. Nobody wanted to play after us. So I ended up playing after Buddy. But I learned after taking 4s with Joe Morello that those guys can't do what we do. Some of the rock things with the hi-hat and stuff, they're not used to it. So,
did you feel inferior to people like that?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, come on, Buddy was like I said, he was a god. He was my idol all my life. His hands were ridiculous. His feet, his hi-hat feet, everything, So after we did that, I got to know Buddy during that thing. There's a picture of Buddy and me in the book as well. Then me and him got in a helicopter together to go to his gig, which was at Disneyland, with Eyewitness News. That was part of the promotion. So Buddy was sitting there, and I can't remember if we were in the front or the back, or he was in the back, I was in the front. There was a camera in the back, video camera, and he looked at the camera and he said, "This is my buddy Carmine Appice. He's a great drummer. He's a great rock drummer. But what do I know?" So then from then on, my manager used that whole thing. Buddy was his favorite rock drummer, and then the article would start, So then we became friends, and I went to a couple of his parties at his house, his apartments in Marina del Rey, and we met a few times to do a direct-to-disc album, which Stanley Clarke was going to produce us, but we could never get our 3 schedules together. Then he had heart surgery, he had bypass. I remember calling him a couple of weeks later, and he said he was going to go work with Frank Sinatra down in Australia in 4 weeks. I said, "Dude, isn't that too soon?" He goes, "I don't care. I can't stand here no more." And then I brought the idea to my manager to go have a drum battle with Animal on the Muppets. And because some people in Australia said, "I saw you on TV when I was there doing clinics." I said, "Who, with Rod?" "No, with the Muppets." I said, "The Muppets? What's that?" I never watched TV in those days. And they said, "Look at this." And they played me a video of Animal. And they said, "Animal, this is you. Looks just like you." And I said, wow. When I had long hair and a beard and everything, had all the drums around him. And I said, yeah, it does look like me, So I went back and told my manager I wanted to do that, And so he calls up the Muppets, and they said, we'll call you back. We'll check it out, Call back. We got good news and bad news. Good news, we love the idea. We're going to do it. So my manager says, so what's the bad news? We're going to use Buddy Rich. So I called Buddy up, and I said, So I hear you doing the Muppet Show. You're going to have a drum battle with Animal? He goes, how do you know? I said, it was my idea. He goes, well, they wanted the best. I said, I'll go fuck yourself, you bastard. You know. But then we became friends.